This is Van Molecular Ghost, and this is episode 73 of our song deconstruction series. And this song deconstruction episode is about the song Pain is What We Do, Sadomasochism. And as I talk about it, is how Peg talks up how I found my inner she in Josephine Electric. And why does Josephine Electric go there? In terms of why does she always go toward like an S&M sadomasochist dominatrix vibe. And it's really a lot of people who heard Josephine when I first started doing her, in my or using her as the lead vocalist for Van Molecular Ghost, was that they felt she had this dominatrix vibe. They felt that she kind of gives that off in not only her song content, but the nature of her voice. And so I kind of doubled down on that early in the, description of what, she talks about or sings about in her songs. And a lot of the topics are about her being in a very authoritarian, assertive, in charge, on the top kind of mode. That her character has many songs where she is like, Wind Over Girls on top, Miss Electric, coming to town and basically being the focus of everyone's attention and actually being a very authoritarian dominatrix type of character. And so this song is a song I've been working on for a while, multiple versions. Was never fully satisfied with the mix. I like the song structure. And we tried doing overdubs, we tried doing different mixes, but over the weekend I ran a new mastering profile on my Zoom R24 digital recorder and found a way to get this song to where my original intention of the song, what I wanted it to be. So I finally got it to sound the way I wanted it to sound. And so this version, I created a new music video on YouTube and Instagram, and been pushing it out, and it got a pretty good reception to this song from the Instagram story, and the way I put it out on their video platform now, where you can put up to 10-minute video. So this is like, why does Josephine go there? Well, it's just the nature of her character is kind of, she's an extension of me, like the female part of me, and part of me must want to go there, and that's what I use Josephine to kind of bring out those fantasy aspects of what, maybe I want to do, and then I have it projected into what she does. And, she is someone that I found within myself, just doing electronic music for many years. I did music without having a vocalist or without singing my own material, and then the JDXI came on the scene and had the built-in vocoder with the microphone. And so the first Josephine Electric songs were using that standard microphone. Then I got a Sennheimer microphone, and now I have a studio electronic microphone. Now I have a VTO3 rather than just a JDXI. And so we've been, doing some evolving with her voice, with the equipment, and different things that we've been doing to kind of tweak it. And we brought in her sister Stephanie, and so we've got different variations on a female vocalist for Van Molecular Ghost, where Josephine's the primary. Stephanie's been coming up doing some songs here and there, and then we've been refining Josephine's voice through tools such as the JDXI studio electronics microphone, different mixers like the MX1 performance mixer, and the VTO3 vocal transformer. And we've been able to get a quality of voice that we want her to have. And we feel that, what we've been able to do is bring the feminine part of myself out. And this song we feel that she has a very clear feminine voice. And her attitude is coming from that direction, that the female part of me. And it's just something that she always goes toward, this kind of dominatrix character where she explores pain and pleasure and this idea in this song is that, pain is a universal truth. Pain is what we do. And we end up in the session black and blue. And, we're going to be all consumed by it. And it's just diving into that kind of, that place. And it's a controversial place, and some people will be like offended, and people don't want to feel it, but, we're being honest with what we're exploring. And, Josephine just kind of comes out of the ether in my machine. So I found her voice in the ghost in the machine, and I'm called Phantom Electric Ghost, and we feel like there's a ghost electric in these synths. There's like a living, breathing entity, and we called her out from our synths, and we kind of channel into that vibe. And when we do songs, a lot of times they just come out of the ether. And, it's part of that is coming out of my subconscious. I do a lot of stream of consciousness. And then I take what I feel is coming from the sense. And sometimes, I feel these things come out of a groove. If I get a groove, it kind of defines what I'm going to do with it. And Josephine's voice seems to come out of that in the same way you get a beat or a bass line out of a synth when you're composing, or you're tuning sounds, or you're coming up with ideas. Josephine just comes out and sometimes full complete thoughts. I mean, this song was written on maybe the second take of just an idea that we were going to go there, and the idea is going to tend each other's wounds. And the idea is like not just physical wounds, but like psychological wounds that, people are trying to heal themselves. And some people, maybe wrongly so or rightly so, try to heal themselves with sex, And in this particular situation, they're trying to heal themselves with sadomasochism, which is kind of antithetical, because you're going to maybe physically be black and blue, but you're feeling that it's like solving like a want or a need that's deep inside. And it's consensual. We're not talking about a situation where we're hurting people in an not consensual way. So it's very controversial in some ways, but we've never been one to shy away from what we feel songs and music should be about, whether it's political, electronic music, or, sex-focused electronic music. And so we, that's another acronym, SFEM, sex-focused electronic music. I think I'll use that. And, a lot of what we're doing, is a cross between talking about the politics of today and then talking about, the more microcosm effect of relationships. And, sex is a big part of relationships. It's a big part of people's personalities. It's part of who they are. And there are people trying to deny people of their, right to be who they are, and trying to put people in boxes. And Josephine kind of shows they shouldn't put people in a box. It's kind of interesting, and sometimes I get invited as Josephine to parties, even though I clearly state that she's a character. And I guess that's the success of what I'm doing, is if people really think Josephine exists, then I've been successful in what I do. Because I'm creating a character, and if you believe what she's saying, or you believe that she is a woman, then I've succeeded in what I've tried to do. And so that's a big compliment to me when I get people doing that. And it's interesting. And I'm not trying to trick anybody. This is part of me. Josephine is part of me. I credit her on my songs. I credit her as a producer. So I take it real serious what I'm doing here in terms of the idea of the Phantom Electric Ghost band is the band of phantoms, and Josephine is the lead singer. Stephanie is a backup singer, sometimes lead, and the Phantom is, the producer. And, Josephine is a producer as well, and co-songwriter, so she's equal footing with the Phantom. And she is the lead on almost all Phantom Electric Ghost songs. There's maybe 10, 15 out of 1,500 songs that Phantom actually sings. So it is a female focus centered, faux band, kind of like the Gorillaz in a way. But I'm not trying to bite off them. I'm just coming up with an idea where I wanted to have a band that is an extension of my concept of what I wanted to do with music. There's a lot of different things going on. The expansive sound, which is a combination of genres, all melded together in terms of like EDM, progressive rock, funk, folk music, electronic new wave, punk, Riot Girl, so many others. It's amalgamation of what I like as a fan of music and what I wasn't fully hearing or what I had heard and wanted to bring back. So a lot of what I've done is like what I heard in new wave, what I heard in punk, what I heard in industrial, what I hear in progressive rock that I wanted to hear again, and I decided to do my own vision of it, is what the Ghost is about. So we're very excited about a new tool that's coming as the Teenage Engineering OPZ, and Josephine, Stephanie, and I are real excited about what we'll be able to do in terms of creating new wave and electronica EDM type of beats. And we've been really diving into New Order and Joy Division and Bauhaus and a lot of early new wave bands, Echo and the Bunnymen. Because there's a time when we were, a young person, and we were very much inspired by the use of those synths and the use of the new wave genre, which has a different type of guitar playing, different type of insight where you start to feel the goth. You start to feel the alternative music, and it all comes, from the classics of, a lot of these goth-inspired indie artists are pulling from Bowie, they're pulling from the Velvet Underground, they're pulling from Big Star, they're pulling from Kraftwerk, and so there's a lot of influences, multiple influences, and they're taking the progressive wreckage of the bands like Yes and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and all the Moogs that were sitting in the pawn shops, and then the new synths and like the Prophet 5s and the Jupiters and the Juno 106s to bring that sound. And today, with the resurgence of analog synths, we've got the Korg Prologue, we've got the Moog 1, we've got like a rebirth of the analog polysynth just this year. And then, Prophet X, and the Prophet 6 and the OB6 are in the tradition of Jupiter 8 or the original Prophet 5. The Moog 1 is in the tradition of what the Memory Moog was and what the Poly Moog was at a higher level. And then the Prophet X is a hybrid of modern synthesis, digital signal processing synthesis with samples, deep samples from ADO. So we have a lot of really cool synths. We think that, I would say that 2018 is a very remarkable year in synthesizers. We've got, the Moog Grandmother, the DFAM, we've got the Moog 1, we've got the Prophet X, we got the Waldorf, Quantum, the Prologue, the Grandmother, and we have the Teenage Engineering OPZ, which is a revelation. So we are in two big revelations, one, maybe three ones. So you got the Moog Grandmother, which is an affordable modular synth that brings back, the capabilities of the old modular Moogs. You've got the OPZ, which is a affordable workstation that brings people the hardware workflow to a generation that likes to just use Pro Tools and Ableton Live, FL Studio, the ability to have a hardware synth and all the benefits of having that hardware synth with the technology of a DAW in your hand. that you can just bring around with you, and that's gonna be a revelation. And it's a performance machine, so it's gonna give a whole new generation a flavor of like what it takes to actually compose on a hardware synth, which is a different effort than doing something on FL Studio or Ableton Live. And I've always preferred using hardware synths to compose on rather than DAWs, because I'm a musician and I think a musician wants to play on an instrument. So I think then you have, again, the Moog 1, which is a total revelation, which is out of everybody's orbit unless you're really crazy and you put all your money into it and you sell everything you got. But the idea that the Moog 1 is there, I think is good for everyone, because eventually that technology is going to come down to an affordable synth. I would think Moog is going to make maybe a really awesome synth in the future that will be a lot of what the Moog 1 is at a different price point. And I think the fact that it exists is going to give the high tier, like Chick Coreas of the world, the ability to compose on an awesome machine and in the studio. A lot of people will get access to them. And there's an idea on the other side, like today you see the rebirth of the Roland Axe synth, which is a guitar, which is showing like there is a focus now in the synth world on not just modular synths, but performance synths that people who are musicians can play, and kind of brings back images of P-Funk and 90s and 80s synth pop. And I'm very excited about all these things because I think there's a lot of energy in the electronic music side of the business. The kind of energy that you feel in punk music, which I always try to combine punk and hip hop and electronic music, which I think, crossing genres is what you should do as an artist, because it will keep you kind of on your toes and keep the music vibrant. If you get stuck too much in any single genre, you can kind of play it out, and it's good to kind of cross-pollinate. And that would be my last little statement. And we'll hope to talk to people more. We got a lot of guests coming up in November. We've got Hydra, Raya, and we've got Synth Girl. So we've got some cool stuff coming up, and we're excited about what's going on, and we'll talk to everyone later. Bye.